Hi, welcome to Dreams Recycled podcast, where we talk to amazing people who have recycled their lives after divorce into something even better and bigger. Today, I'm very excited because it's like a kind of hobby. Well, it used to be a hobby of mine, dating, online dating. If you've read my book, you will know I've been on 400 very bad, weird dates. And today we have Amanda Rose from Dating Boutique. You can find her at datingboutiqueinc.com. Yes? Is that right?
Yes,
okay.
It is.
Okay, welcome, Amanda. How are you?
Hi, Tiffany. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. So you are like a dating guru. I see you everywhere with Dating Boutique. You're fun, you're funny, you're interesting, and you have an interesting personal story. So you were also divorced. This is no secret. So why don't you tell us about what happened after your divorce?
Yes, so right before the divorce, I actually found my ex-husband dating online.
Yikes, nobody wants that, do they?
Oh, no, they do not. No. So I found his profile online, and before that I had suspicions he was on there. So of course I went looking for him like any suspicious wife would do.
Yeah, and we're like the FBI, aren't we?
We are. We should get jobs. I mean, we would be the best agents ever.
We would.
But so I did find him, but while I was looking for him, I kept thinking, man, these guys need help. You know, the profiles were scary. They were just not dateable at all. And so I just kind of thought to myself, somebody should have a business that helped these guys look dateable. Kind of put it on the back burner, didn't do anything with that. Of course, we went through the divorce. But during that divorce process, I thought, I'm going to make this business, because I went through actually went from being a stay-at-home mom to a single mom overnight. So it was
like me. That's a massive adjustment, and we like flounder. We're not really sure what to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So I knew I had two choices right then, to either let this divorce destroy me, or create a life for my children and I that we absolutely love. And so I chose to create an amazing life. It wasn't easy at all times.
No, and kudos for you, because it really isn't easy. And my story and your story is similar, as in at the other end of it looks like, oh, we just snapped our fingers and all of a sudden we've got these amazing businesses. And I tell people all the time that's not true. Obviously, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and it's a ridiculous amount of hard work, blood, sweat, tears in there some way. But
exactly.
You keep going, right?
Yes, you can't give up. And I knew at that moment, I could either create this, lifestyle that I wanted for my children, no matter if we had the financial support of my ex or not. And so I took the business, created a little website, stayed up really late for months on end, learning how to create the website, create a business. I had no clue what I was doing, but I knew I was going to make it happen. I was determined. I had these 2 little precious faces looking at me. They were relying on me to make a good life for them. So I created the business called, my first business was The Dating Stylist, and we made over online profiles. We partnered with, companies to help their client, the profiles look dateable. We redid the pictures. We wrote the profiles for the people. And from there, I was offered a job with an international matchmaking agency. I took it. I became the regional coordinator, but I did not like their process. So again, I branched off on my own to make a more personalized process to matchmaking, and created the Dating Boutique. So
well done. I love it. I love your story, and I love the Dating Boutique. I have been on there. It's fabulous.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's been a crazy ride, but I am to the point where I can finally say I have created, the life that my children and I could only dream of, beyond our wildest dreams. But it took a lot of, blood, sweat, and tears to get here after the divorce, but it was totally worth it.
Yeah, and you were like a poster child for Dreams Recycled, not settling for less than you think you're worth. And this is, one of the things I encourage women and men to do after their divorce. Like, if you have any dreams, passions, callings, desire, what better time than divorce to make that happen? Because you have a lot more freedom. You don't have to answer to your ex. You don't have to answer to somebody else. If you want to recycle your life, no better time than divorce, and do it in a spectacular way.
Yes, exactly. I couldn't agree more. And I think that's what, everybody should do if they are going through a divorce, is to really just take a hold of what you have in that time, and find out who you are again. What are your passions, and go with that. I think that's huge.
Yeah, no, it is huge. So if you're familiar with my story, I can't remember, but most of our listeners probably are. I did many different things after my divorce. So I didn't know what I was doing, clearly. I tried to have a relationship, very quickly realized this was not going to happen. So then I went on this kind of eat, pray, love date zone where I traveled. I went out with 400 people on kind of the premise that I wasn't looking for a relationship. I was looking to find myself much more. And then I got to the point where I actually stopped dating totally. I was like, okay, now I'm done. I've been there, done that. Have the t-shirt, embarrassing. But I kind of got to the point where I was like, I'm not going to date at all. And only then would I date with intent. So you, as a dating expert for all our divorcees, men and women, let's start by talking about profiles. What are the no, do, and must do on dating profiles on the online dating world nowadays?
Oh, there's so many, but for time's sake, I'll just,
narrow it down.
Good one. The do's is, to have a really good profile picture, something that leaves a good first impression, because you literally have 7 seconds to make a good first impression online.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, on social media, online dating profiles. So to have a picture that is very, just leaves a good first impression, that looks friendly, that looks appealing, that's not, showing too much skin, or men, to leave out the pictures of showing your biceps, on the profile. And then, so the profile picture, I would say, is number one. It also includes something that you're interested in. Like, do you like to hike? Put a picture of you hiking or exploring or whatever it is, also on your profile, to kind of show showcase your personality as well. And
so I have to ask you, full body picture or just face? Because this is like, I like, when I talk to men especially, their biggest pet peeve is women will only post photos from the neck up, and then you really don't know. And as shallow and like horrible that is in many ways, is that kind of false advertising, or what is that about?
Right. It can be false advertising. I mean, because you want to know, some people are attracted to different body types, and that's okay. Everybody has their own preferences. So you want to just be upfront with someone on who you are and what you look like. You don't want to post a picture that's 10 years old, maybe a year at the oldest. But yes, definitely a headshot, a full body pic, and then maybe something showcasing your personality. Don't put, a group of friends in that photo, or your sister, or your third cousin, nobody else.
Especially if they're much hotter than you.
Yes, right.
I find this very odd. I remember when I was online dating, I'd be like, ooh, he's, not my type, but who is he with?
Right. Can I get his number? No. No, yes, exactly. So those are, I would say, just some quick picture tips on your profile. And then on the online profile bio, I would keep it very positive. Don't be negative. Don't talk about your ex and how you're burned.
Yeah, that is my pet peeve. Anyone, I mean, such a turn off on a first date or in a profile, 10 million things about how your ex, destroyed you, or can't stand anyone who looks anything like them, or I mean, it's just weird. Right. Definite no.
Yes, it's horrible that it just gives off a bad vibe right away. Nobody wants to hear about your sob story of your ex. So keep it positive. Don't and keep it short. Don't write a whole life story, just maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs to kind of bring them in, get the mystery going, something to ask them questions about you. And then as the conversation goes on, you can reveal more information, but don't give away the whole farm, on your profile.
No, that's a good point. So, okay, so I'm torn. The next question I'm asking, I'm torn between what the answer is. Okay. So how do you feel about people, because I notice this a lot, and I have guy friends and they would show me girls do it too, these big tomes of, a list of what they want, I want to date somebody who is, and then it's like, tall, fit, brunette, must love exercise, must hate hunting, must whatever, and it goes on and on and on. And so I feel like in some ways, okay, that's good, you know what you want, that's a good thing maybe, but on the other hand, should we really be that specific in what we want, or should we be more open-minded?
I think that's a great question. And I get that a lot with my clients. A lot of times people have this, huge list of like deal breakers or what they exactly want. Like he has to be 6'2" with, dark hair.
Blue eyes.
Right. Blue eye. Right. Or he has to have this type of job or, or this type of house or, and the thing is, a list is great on knowing what you want, but I tell people to focus on your core values and characteristics, because your dream partner could come along and not be 6'2", might not have dark hair, but he will treat you like you deserve to be treated, and you will have an amazing, relationship. So take maybe the physical aspects a little. I know you have to be attracted to them, but maybe don't be so particular on who you might let come into your life.
Right.
It's a great person if you're
No, and I agree. And I think sometimes those lists, okay, so maybe some are deal breakers, like if you don't want to date somebody who does drugs, right?
Right, exactly.
But things that are, physical characteristics, lifestyle, etc., they're often things that are changeable. Obviously, we're not going to look like this forever, as cute as we are, Amanda, but but these things change. But like you said, if you focus on your core values and the core personality of somebody and the kind of person they are, that's the thing that you're going to have when you're sitting in a rocking chair on your porch at 80. That's all you have left anyway.
Right, exactly. I mean, you might live with this person forever. So when you're waking up next to them every single day, do they make you happy? Or, or not that they make you happy, but do you have a good relationship? There's no toxic, emotions going on there. And that's so important to have in a healthy, long-lasting relationship.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think it took me a while to figure that out. I'm the poster child for not knowing what I'm doing after my divorce, which is why I have this company, right? I don't want people to make all the mistakes that I did originally. I think that there's a learning process. You have to learn to get to know yourself before you can know what you want from somebody else. You have to work on your self-worth, because you have to, the whole adage that you accept the behaviors that you think you deserve is unfortunately very true.
Yes.
And so until you get to that point, which is all self-work and things that you need to do by yourself, then really relationship is not really going to be long-term or work out very well in your favor, I don't believe.
Yes, I completely agree. I think you do have to, like you said, work on yourself and create that. How you treat yourself is how other people will treat you. I think that's a huge thing as you're going through the process of dating after a divorce too, is to how do you like to treat yourself? You have to find somebody that treats you the same.
Yeah.
So I think that's huge.
So what would your advice be to okay, let's pretend Sally got divorced last week and she's desperate to go out into the dating world because she can, right? And Fred can. And I think that's kind of a common theme. We go like, oh, we should date because we can, because we're allowed.
Right, we're free.
Yeah. So what do we do? How do we go about this? What's a safe, good way to start this process?
Right. The first thing that I would say is if someone is newly divorced, newly single, is to pause and just wait a second. And I know dating, getting back out there can be exciting, but there's some key things that you need to do before dating or getting in the relationship. And I always tell my clients, if they're newly divorced, is to go through a period where you can really find yourself again, practice self-love, find your passions, because when we're in a relationship for so long, especially marriage, like we kind of lose a part of who we are and what we're passionate about.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And so that's such an important time that you're by yourself, find who you are before you find somebody else to bring into your life again, because you don't want to repeat the same dating patterns. And a lot of times people do that when they don't take that time of, finding who they are again and practicing self-love and knowing their worth, because the dating world can be absolutely crazy and you can meet some real not winners.
Yes, there are lots of strange people out there.
Yes.
But isn't it okay to date for fun? Right? Because I talk to people and they go, oh, well, I'm not ready to date. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I don't have my kids. I'm just going to sit on my sofa and be boring. Like, isn't it okay to go out and have some fun? We're adults.
Yeah, I think so. As long as yeah, of course. I think it's great to make new connections and meet new people, but just be mindful that, don't fall into a relationship really fast. Just be mindful of red flags, know your worth, and just set boundaries before you, just, of course, have fun, but know who you are before you get out there and start dating around.
Yeah, I mean, I found that in my 400 dates, one of the things I think I found was that as long as you're honest with people, they don't mind. Because actually quite a few of them are also kind of in that weird kind of gray area where you don't want a relationship. You've been married for 100 years. You want to work on yourself, but you also quite like to go out. It's nice to have dinner with somebody. It's nice to meet someone else. It's nice just to have a conversation that doesn't involve, your kids or your ex or whatever it is. And I want to say the best thing that came out of those 400 dates was I have, 3 or 4 really good male friends who I never actually dated, but we connected on a friendship level and we still hang out and do stuff. And I think that's good too.
Oh, definitely. I have stayed friends with a lot of the guys that, I went on like a first Tinder date or something with. And a lot of them are my good friends today. And I think, setting those expectations and letting them know, ahead of time what you want and where you are in life is great. And you can, now I might go to a concert with one of them, or, we've even been on little trips. So just to have those friendships and connections are great.
I almost feel like there should be a non-dating dating app for girls to go out with girls and boys to go out with boys, because I feel like after divorce, it's very isolating. A lot of our friends are married, a lot of our friends or whatever, we don't want to be third wheel, but we still want people to do stuff with. And so it's a shame it's not kind of an easier system to just even make friends. I mean, that's one of the things we have on Dreams Recycled is the community area where you can connect with other divorcees, because I think it's just an important thing to try and make new friends.
Exactly. It is. And it really helps with the healing process after divorce and making those new connections and making those new friendships with people that maybe are in the same, part of life that you are. Something I recommend my clients to do is to go somewhere new every week or join meetup groups so that they can make those new connections and just get out and do stuff, and not sit at home.
Yeah, no, and I love meetups. I will say this podcast is brought to you by meetups. Like, I love them. I tell a lot of people that. I mean, I think if nothing else, you find commonality with those people. If you're all into ceramics or you're all into hiking or whatever, they may not be your best friends or your bridesmaid or groomsman one day, but they're people that you automatically have something in common with. So I think that makes it a little bit easier, right?
Yes, definitely. Yes, having that common bond is a connection. It makes life so much better.
Okay, so little Miss Dating expert Amanda. So what would you do? Because I struggled with this. How do you politely escape a really bad, weird date?
Oh, that's good. And I'm sure that's happened to so many people.
Because we don't know what to do. You just sit there like you're in like some kind of sitcom episode. Like, okay, how can I escape? Can the ground swallow me?
Is this really happening? So what I tell people and what I've done in the past, I've never been on a really super bad date, but
I'll give you some of mine.
After after my divorce, since after my divorce. But what I'll always do is have a backup plan. I'll have a friend that knows where I'm at, what I'm doing, and if needed, they can call, and it could be an emergency. And
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you have to get out of there. Something else, if you feel unsafe and it's just really bad, and the date is, you just don't feel comfortable, I would even just leave the table and ask someone that worked at the restaurant, the bar, wherever you are, to walk you to your car. You have no obligation to stay with that person if they make you feel uncomfortable. Your safety, your well-being is way more important than anything else. So or if he's just a complete goofball and obnoxious, you have to leave, or be upfront and say, I don't think this date is going anywhere, and leave. You have no obligation to stay in a bad date at all.
No, I agree with you. So what's a good first date location?
I like to, with our company, we usually set up just, a glass of wine or coffee at a local restaurant, but I'd like to encourage people to do something that builds connection. Like, for example, I had a date at a obstacle course one time, and it was amazing. We ended up going, dating for a while, and he's one of my friends, good friends today. But it builds connection. It was kind of scary. So, you build up that adrenaline and really got the conversation going. So I love things like that are different, not the coffee dates or the wine dates.
Even for a first date, that's okay?
I think if you have built the communication and you're comfortable going with them, kind of how they communicate. If it's like a blind first date, no way. But yeah, if you've been talking for a while, maybe FaceTiming, so you kind of got a feel of who this person is, I think that would be great. Definitely.
Well, that's a good point you brought up. So FaceTime, Skype. I haven't done this until recently, but this is kind of how I think a lot of people connect now. So when is this weird and when is this okay? Like, if we connect with people on a dating app and they go like, "Hey, get on the Skype cam now," right? That scares me. That makes me think like this person is a weirdo. But I feel like there might be a good side to that too.
Yes, definitely. I think once you establish that a few conversations, maybe by text or phone call, and you want to get to know this person better, you want to know that they are who they say they are too,
That's a good point.
So Skype is great. And FaceTime, I actually encourage it. I think it builds, more connection, because text, you don't feel the emotion like you do face to face.
Well, and body language. And
yes,
like, I feel like there's like three personalities people have in online dating. They have the texting personality. Well, they have four. They have the profile personality, where they advertise themselves as X, Y, or Z, which can't be trusted. Then they have the texting personality.
Yes.
Then they have the vocal personality. So when you hear their voice, you get a bigger sense. And then lastly, they have the, in-person personality. And I'm a big body language person. Like, I feel like sometimes people can be really nice and really great, but something about their body language is off-putting or unattractive or whatever, and it bursts the bubble. So like on FaceTime, at least you can see kind of their mannerisms and hear them, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, definitely. I think when the FaceTime and Skype, you can kind of see if they, if they are a weirdo, if they introduce something weird, you can kind of just nip some things in the bud right away instead of going out with them.
Yeah, that's a good point. And also, which we didn't touch on, but is my little tip for online dating, I always look at the backgrounds.
Yes, definitely.
I can always see the kind of house they live in and their taste in things, and you look at people's clothes, but you can tell a lot from their surroundings, I think.
Yes, and that goes with online dating profile pictures too. Like, if they're taking pictures in their bathroom,
and their bathroom is really dirty and messy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it does tell a lot about somebody as well.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say we've got divorced, we've been on our 400 dates, we've connected, we've found ourselves. So how do we set about finding our happier forever afters. Once we really know that we're ready, we want to have somebody permanently. What do we do?
So, when someone's ready for a commitment, or marriage, long-term relationship, I tell them to start. You have to be proactive. You can't sit at home and watch Netflix. You have to get out there. You have to make new connections. Every week, go somewhere new. When you make new connections, it could be you can meet somebody who has a brother or a cousin or a best friend that
Yeah, no, that's a good point, right? That's a good point. That we don't know where our happy ever after really is lying. Could be at the produce section, could be like a brother of somebody or a sister of somebody or something. So you actually are a matchmaker. Your service is that you connect people to other people.
Yes, correct.
And so without giving away all your trade secrets, what kind of formula or what do you look for to match people? What criteria are you looking for, and what should we be looking for if we're looking for somebody to be with? What things should we be paying attention to?
Right. One thing that I always ask people I tell them to be mindful of, is what is somebody's, core values and characteristics? Do they match yours? Because those are long-term qualities that will determine how compatible the relationship will be in the future. So I think that's something that people need to be mindful of too. And I match people based on personality styles too, the lifestyles. Are they compatible? Even sometimes religious beliefs, if they can, it's okay if someone's open-minded, but if they're not, then they're not going to be compatible with someone
long term
doesn't share their same beliefs. So there's a lot of inner things that I look at when I want to set people up. Of course, physical too. You you can't expect to find a Brad Pitt or or a model if you're not a model, or so things like that too. So just be realistic and mindful about what you really need in a relationship,
right?
And what will help you in the future to create a long-term relationship.
Yeah, no, I think they're all good points. And I think that, part of the divorce story is really getting to that point where you would be open to somebody else. I mean, I always tell people, don't make the, second marriage your end goal. I think you should make happy your end goal in yourself alone. But obviously part of that is that then you probably eventually would like to meet somebody in some form.
Right.
And be the best version of you that you can be to attract the best version of somebody else that they can be.
Yes, exactly. I think that brings a good point. You have to be completely happy with who you are in your life before you can, bring somebody else in. Because if you're not happy, nobody can complete you. You have to complete yourself before you bring that long-term partner in.
Okay, so one of my funny questions I like to ask people: what's either the worst date you personally have been on or heard of ever?
Oh gosh, that's a good one. Worst dates. I know. I thought you've shared one with me. That's probably the worst ever.
No one can top mine. That's my Medal of Honor right there.
Right. I think one of the worst is one of the guys started to compare his. I can't say where I got this, but he started to compare the date with his ex and telling her about how she compared to his ex. It's just, that just makes a woman feel like, get me out of here. This is horrible. And I think that it might not be as crazy, but it's just like one of those, don't do that. Oh, and
that's actually really interesting you say that, because I remember probably a handful, like quite a common thing for somebody to say is talk about how attractive their ex was, with the well, they were crazy but they were really hot, or they used to be Miss Hawaii or Miss whatever, and you're on this date with them, you're like, is that supposed to repulse me, impress me, make me think that you're better than me? Like, what is that about? Like, why would people even go there with that kind of conversation?
Right. I don't understand. I can't wrap my head around why they would even bring that up and talk about it. It's just a major no-no. And there's always bad dating things that you can say that you shouldn't say.
Yeah.
I've had people, heard people that have like chugged shots on their date, that I've set up with people.
Oh no.
Yeah. So we have rules set up about that now. It's a learning experience, but
yeah. What about people who are on their phone through the date? Would you get up and leave? I saw somebody sued somebody the other day for texting during a date. Did you see that?
Oh, really? No, I'll have to look that up. That's crazy. But yeah, definitely keep your phone away. Don't if you're having a bad time, just leave. Don't just stay on your phone.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, I go on dates and or friends or whatever, and you look around a restaurant and there are couples all over that restaurant who are all on their phone. They're not talking to each other. They're not interacting. They just look ridiculously ridiculous to me.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a red flag. Okay, that relationship might not go far.
Yeah, no, very sad. Or we'll end in divorce court and they'll be on my website. So the good end, I'm the not so good end maybe. But Amanda Rose, thank you so much for joining us today. You've been lovely as always.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us where we can find you? If there are people out there, men, women, anywhere, is it nationwide, right? Your company is nationwide?
Yes, we're nationwide. They can find us on datingboutiqueinc.com or on Facebook, Dating Boutique, all social media.
Yeah. Very cool. So follow Amanda. Amanda's also, like me, a blogger for Huffington Post. So check out her stuff there also. She's got great advice in the dating world. I know she's helped me in the past and she's amazing. So thank you, Amanda. And we will connect all your links to the other information so people can find you and reach out to you if they have any questions.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tiffany.
Thank you. So thank you for listening to another Dreams Recycle podcast, and we will be back next week. Thank you.